For many people who were around in the 90s or even later, the Home Alone movies were a staple of Christmas, as ubiquitous as Santa Claus, and usually enchanting both children as well as grown-ups. I too grew up watching the first two movies every holiday season, not necessarily intentionally, but because they were always on TV at that time, and I did in fact like them. Banking on the popularity of the first movie, a tie-in game was released soon after. Actually, I should say that several games were made for various platforms, among which DOS, NES, SNES, Amiga, Master System, Sega Genesis, etc., by different developers and with different gameplay. I'm here to talk about the DOS version. Well, the Amiga one was also made by the same developer, and it's almost identical, but it does have slightly different colors and nicer music. Home Alone for DOS and Amiga was developed by Manley and Associates and published in 1991 by Capstone. The subtitle is A Family Game Without a Family, mirroring the one from the movie posters, a family comedy without a family. Well, it's catchy, I'll give them that. If you like the film for its well-written story, great humor and memorable and well-acted characters, you will be in for a disappointment if you expect the same from the game. The story is quickly presented in a couple of digitized stills from the movie and a few sentences, mentioning only that Kevin's family had gone on holiday and accidentally left him home alone. After that very brief introduction, you're thrown right into the action, so to say. You would need to be familiar with the film to know that after quite a bit of plot development and a few run-ins with some creepy burglars called the Wet Bandits, a very unfortunate name if you ask me, Kevin finds out that said burglars are planning to rob his house at 9 p.m. and decides to defend it, having just 1 hour to prepare. I'm pretty disappointed the designers didn't flesh out the story a bit more to explain why the house is robbed and why there is a time limit. A nice touch would have been Kevin's crayon-drawn battle plan. You know, for inspiration. So playing as Kevin, you have 1 hour, which translates to 8 minutes in real life, to go through the house, collect and set up traps for the bandits to fall into, and after 9 o'clock, you will have to run around avoiding them, shooting them with your BB gun if needed in order to slow them down, and making sure that they each set off 10 traps. At which point they would give up and just crumple to the floor defeated, wanting no more burned hands, bumps on their noggins, or Legos under their feet. There are 26 traps in total in the house, and it's very easy to set them all up in the allotted time, arm yourself, Kevin, with a BB gun, and find a good spot where to wait for their arrival. Once the second part of the game starts, after 9 o'clock, you can't place any more traps, but you might actually trigger them yourself if you're not careful and run into them, which won't hurt you, but it would mean fewer for the bandits. If you get caught, then it's game over. The gameplay is therefore very simplistic, and you can complete it all in 20-30 minutes, or even less, and this is most likely the reason for its obscurity since, despite being connected to a hugely successful movie, the game isn't well known. The house has several floors, with the notable mention that the ground floor wraps around, so you can keep going left or right, and return to where you started from, while the first floor does not. You will also find several shortcuts, such as the window to the treehouse and the laundry chute in the bathroom, which you can actually climb back up through. No, I don't know how it's done, but my guess is with vacuum suction or game logic. The baddies can't go through these shortcuts, so you can escape to momentary safety by using them. I say momentary because for some reason you and the bandits always know each other's locations, and they will keep homing in on you, and you will also get to see what rooms they're in on your notebook paper hub. Oh, and either because of a bug or by design, the treehouse isn't accessible from the ground, even if there are stairs leading to it and they appear as a possible access route. The bandits actually aren't able to follow you in the treehouse at all, since they refuse to go through the window on the zipline. They must have seen the movie to know what happens if they try. One pretty annoying thing is the fact that there is a loading time between the rooms when the animation freezes. Could we explain it away by the fact that it would take Kevin some time to open the doors or climb the stairs? Alright. Let's give them a pass this time. The graphics are in 2D side view, pixely and a bit simplistic, but that's to be expected from a 1991 game. The colors are vibrant and bright, which is strange, because the game is supposed to take place on a winter evening, but it's daylight outside. Maybe the game designers thought the times were AM instead of PM. It's easy to mix them up. The characters do their best to look like in the film, sporting similar hair and wearing the same clothes, even down to Marv's red socks. You also get digitized portraits of Harry and Marv that smile at you creepily throughout the first part of the game. There are also other elements that are easily recognizable from the movie, such as Buzz's room with the shelves, the basement with a scary heater, though not scary at all in the game, and of course the treehouse. Some of the iconic traps make a return too, such as the paint buckets, the loose toys, the red hot iron, and even the tarantula. That little critter roams the house without a care in the world, occasionally causing the bandits to slip and momentarily get slowed down, but without counting towards the trap's triggered score, unfortunately. The sounds are okay, cartoony and simple, nothing to write home about really. And even if you were to write home about them, it's only Kevin there, and he's kind of busy eating junk and watching rubbish to reply to you. There is a fun and playful intro song that also plays on loop throughout the first part of the game, while the second part will have a more alert tune. They're not bad actually, and the game being short means that you won't have much time to get bored of them. Not much more to say about this little game. I played it as a kid and thought it was amusing for a little while, even if I never tried hard enough to beat it. Also had no idea what the objective was in order to win and hadn't discovered all the shortcuts yet. Would I recommend it? Well, it's fun for a few tries and for when you don't feel like testing your reflexes or mind, but it's really just very simplistic and short. So if you don't mind that and/or are a die-hard Home Alone fan, you can give it a go. Or I've got the complete Let's Play on my channel if you feel like seeing someone else play it instead. And here is all I'll say. Thank you for watching.
And a Happy New Year!